Under the law of Moses, whoever entered the presence of God died there and then, owing to the fact that God treated the children of Israel as slaves because of sin. So they never enjoyed the mercy enjoyed by a son in a house. They never enjoyed the grace, the favor enjoyed by a son in a house. However, they were represented by a priest who entered the presence of God only once in a year. And not every priest was allowed to access the presence of God. Only the high priest represented the whole nation of Israel. And as he entered the presence of God, his heart was filled with fear, because any mistake he makes in the presence of God, he drops dead. The presence of God dwelt in a temple at Jerusalem, and this temple was divided into two: the holy place and the Holy of Holies. The presence of God dwelt in the Holy of Holies. It was represented by a box called the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant had a lid, which we may also refer to as the mercy seat or the seat of rewards. Between the holy place and the Holy of Holies was a thick veil, a thick curtain, which was there to remind the children of Israel that no one was allowed to access the presence of God. This is the veil which got torn from top to bottom when the Lord Jesus Christ died on the cross. It got torn from top to bottom, signifying that everyone is free to enter the presence of God. Everyone has been given power to access the presence of God. Everyone qualifies to be a priest. And you enter the presence of God with thanksgiving. You enter the presence of God with boldness, with confidence, because you know that in the presence of God, you receive rewards, you receive mercy. In the presence of God, you receive judgment, and that judgment is always favorable, but against your enemy. In the presence of God, your enemy receives judgment. In the presence of God, foundations to your problems are shaken. In the presence of God, chains of slavery are broken. In the presence of God, doors in your life are thrown open. You ought not to fear while in the presence of God. Hebrews chapter 4 verse 16. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. In the presence of God, you only receive mercy, you only receive grace, you receive rewards as you stand before the mercy seat, the seat of rewards. You are a son. You are no longer a slave. Galatians chapter 4 verse 4. But when the fullness of the time had come, God sent forth his son, born of a woman, born under law, to redeem those who were under the law, that we might receive the adoption as sons. So God sent us a son, not a slave, not a child, but a fully grown child, a son, so that we might be given the power to become sons of God. We need to appreciate the love of God. We need to appreciate the grace of God. He qualified us to become sons, not because of our works, not because of our good deeds, but just by His unmerited favor, His grace. Stay blessed.